Hello. Today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode 9. Let's jump right into it. The episode opens up with Emily and Gretchen going to a hormone clinic to get their testosterone pellets inserted. Apparently, they say that it makes you like 20 years old again and you just want to have a sex all the time. So, very interesting. While they're there, they talk about how they don't want to be around Katie, and they also talk about how Gretchen and Tamara shared a hug at the polygraph test thing event. I guess it was the Persian New Year. I hope I'm getting that right, Persian. Gretchen says she is cautiously optimistic about them starting a friendship again. Katie and Jen meet up for coffee, and Jen confronts Katie about her lies, and then Katie says that the polygraph people were hired actors, and she pulls up receipts. They look like Instagram screenshots. I'm really not sure like what proof she has, but she's like showing them to Jen, and she's saying these were hired actors. Like, what? I really do feel like at this point, like Katie's just like maybe delusional. I don't know what's going on. It's wild. It is wild. Or maybe they're just making us think that. I don't know. Jen tells Katie she needs to take accountability for things and that it's hard to be her friend right now because she keeps getting caught in all of these lies. So Jen's like, dude, like, what is going on? What are you doing? Like, it's so hard for me to be your friend right now with these other girls because you just keep getting caught in lie after lie. Gina heads over to her ex-husband's house to hang out with his new wife and says that she has a great relationship with her and that it really helps with co-parenting and it just makes it so much easier. She wishes that was the situation with Travis and his ex. Gina talks about how her ex-husband had a heart attack right after they left New Orleans, and they show a picture of him in the hospital. I guess the new wife like rushed him to the hospital and they had to put a stent in his heart or something to like revive him. Like he was like really in bad shape. So this was like a really scary instance. Heather, Tamara, and Jen meet up for lunch at the beach. Jen tells the girls that Katie thinks the entire polygraph test was staged and a setup for Katie. Heather kind of dismisses this and they kind of just like move on and keep the conversation going. Heather actually says like, my husband is a doctor, but he also plays a doctor on TV, like in a reality show, but is also a doctor in real life. Like two things can be the same at once. Jen and Tamara talk about their friendship, and Tamara apologizes for talking about Ryan last season and the whole FBI situation. So she's sitting there and she's like, I'm so sorry that, well, not I'm so sorry, but she says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for talking about Ryan last season. So basically, Tamara's on the apology tour after she like quit after New Orleans. That seems to be a trend with these girls. Like they'll like quit or like do bad, and then they go on the apology tour and like go to each individual girl and they're like, "I'm sorry, forgive me," and then like, "Okay." Jen accepts her apology and they hug. They actually kiss, which is funny. She says in her interviews that she is cautious about their friendship, like moving forward with their friendship, because she feels like, you know, Tamara really hurt her. And so she's like open to it, but she's cautiously moving forward. That's also a trend of the girls saying that. Emily, Gina, and Shannon meet up to do a little shopping. Emily tells them that Jen called her and told her Katie thinks the polygraph was a total setup for Katie. So this is getting around now that Katie thinks that this was a total setup and like a sham. So while they're there, Emily gets several phone calls from her son and she opens up to the girls a little bit about the struggle she's going through with her son and how it's affecting her and her marriage and her life. She just feels really sad as a mom, like, should I be there for him? Because every time I leave, he gets really sad that I'm leaving. And then her and Shane are not on the same page and they're fighting. So she opens up a little bit to Gina and Shannon about it. Matt and Katie sit down to chat about everything that's going on right now. Matt backs Katie up by saying that he has had multiple conversations with Slade, with Ryan on the phone, talking about what happened to Gretchen, and shows call records and text messages to prove it. So Matt's sitting there talking to Katie and he's basically going to bat for her, which it seems very true. Like there are like call logs in between. It seems like Katie calls him a lot, which is like a lot. But anyway, there's like call logs of like Slade talking to, or like him answering the phone with Slade like on his phone, and then text messages of like Slade being like, oh yeah, call me, this and that, like let's chat. So he's basically backing up, like he said at one point there was a 43-minute phone call. He's like, do you think we're just shooting the crap on this? Like, no, we're talking about the Gretchen situation. Like Slade and Gretchen are like perpetually like pushing this narrative that this happened and like trying to make Katie the fall person for it. So that's like what this whole scene's about. Katie says that she's sad that Jen is leaving her out to dry about the whole situation. Jen knows the same information that Katie does, and it's really hurting her feelings that she's not standing up for her. So at this point, we don't really know who to believe. I mean, I personally believe the other girls. I feel like Katie is a liar, but I don't really know. This could be completely false and off base, but basically Katie's saying that Jen knows the same information and she's just throwing Katie under the bus and being like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's really hurting Katie's feelings. Jen is hosting a beach day for all the girls, and she said she did not invite Katie, which is a very like much line in the sand. But I get it. Like, she might be trying to fix things with Katie, but the other girls really don't want anything to do with her. So we'll see how this plays out during the season. Tamara brings Joe De La Rosa to the beach day, which I think is hysterical because her and Gretchen were supposed to, like, they hugged at the polygraph thing, and they're supposed to be like working on their relationship. And then Tamara goes and brings the ex that had like drama with her current husband or boyfriend, Slade. Like, that just seems crazy to me. Tamara confronts Gretchen again about what she said, if she went to the hospital after the Naked Wasted dinner or not. And Gretchen stands firm that she did not say that she went to the hospital after the Naked Wasted dinner, even though we have conflicting clips of her saying she did and then she didn't on the show on camera. So don't really know what to believe. Gretchen and Tamara actually break away from the table, so they're all the girls are sitting at this table and kind of chatting, and they kind of break away from the table to discuss the situation more. So basically, like, there's a bunch of back and forth between Gretchen and Tamara when they break away, like basically just saying like, this, you did this to me, you did this to me, you did this to me. It's just a lot of back and forth about like what's happened and like rehashing things basically. Tamara apologizes to Gretchen for the things she's done in the past, so like Tamara actually like pulls up her chair and like holds her hand and is like, I'm so sorry for, what I've done. Not I'm so sorry, but I'm sorry. Gretchen seems to cautiously accept her apology and is like, okay, I want to move forward. But then she says in her interview, she's like, I just don't know if I can trust the girl. Like, I want to move forward. I want to be cordial, but I just don't know if I can trust this girl, basically, which is what everybody says. So then Shannon sees this, like, so Gretchen and Tamara like hold hands and like skip back to the table. She's not going to skip down the beach with Tamara after a 10-minute conversation after everything that she's done to her, because she knows it won't last. And she knows like this drill before, like it has happened before with Tamara, and she knows what's going to happen in the future. So Shannon's like, because Shannon is basically the only one that's on the outs with her still, and she even says at the table, she's like, oh, I look like the asshole now, because like she's not going to accept Tamara's apology. And I remember this happening in a previous season, and Shannon, I feel like, got bullied kind of into accepting Tamara's apology. So we'll see if that happens this time. I hope you enjoyed my recap. What are your thoughts on this episode? I will link down below a playlist to all the other episodes in this season. Hit that subscribe button to check out all of my other recaps. And thank you again so much for joining me, and I will check you on the next one. Bye.